rush to leave yet, is there? Who knows what kind of adventures await us in a freshly lit Barrens?
A light elf statue in the desert. Odd.
On top of ancient Elven ruins? I'd have to agree.
Why here and not in the temple?
A fair question.
With no clear answer.
Jewelry. Oh? Put it on one of my horns. Let's see if I can pull it off.
No.
An Elven library.
An archive of knowledge.
No sign of the Light Elves.
For now.
Maybe they've left for the day, and we can browse at our leisure. Another one of Dvalin's diagrams.
You spoke of his conscience.
Aye. He saw that the Aesir would likely use his powerful weapons to cut down his fellow dwarves, so he ripped out his design pages and scattered them.
And what of him?
Well, the All-Father found out. He wasn't terribly pleased.
sealed, but there is an inscription. The Consul.
Bigbear spoke of an exile of the same name. Odds are he'd like a gander at that particular text.
All this knowledge of their ancestors, their shared history, poetry, just sitting here, forgotten. What a waste.
Swatha!
Ah, it appears the librarian would like a word.
Lata Frambog.
Sounds like she wants that journal back.
No.
Leosalfa. Thought. Egivita. Helga Brotina.
She thinks she's protecting them by hiding all this knowledge away.
The elves do not need protection from their history. They need access. A new chapter awaits.
I'm impressed. Thought you were going to end her.
When last we traveled here, after Faye passed, I killed an elf of great importance. The ramifications were dire for his people. I do not wish to make the same mistake twice.
Freyr, that story before of your brother. You said he wandered from the World Tree to the Lake of Souls.
It's true. The elves have never seen anybody come out of the lake before, so it got some attention.
Oh, that is bloody hilarious.
Another time. We must focus.
Light elf architecture. It's massive.
A token.
A badge of honor. The elves made a few of these. They'd hang them up outside their dwellings. Show their support for my brother. That's all my brother.
Freyr, back to the story of your brother. You said the elves saw him emerge from the Lake of Souls.
It's true.
Oh. Let us search this area.
A monument to Freyr. I wonder if he ever saw this.
That's odd. The runes are dark.
I'm grateful to see Freyr remembered this way. But what purpose does all this serve?
Difficult to say without an inscription. But it looks like the elves built this place together, light and dark. Which means this would have been their first act of cooperation in generations. A far cry from lasting peace, but perhaps it served as a monument. One that symbolizes the potential for growth.
This statue may have survived Freyr's absence, but a truth clearly did not. Monuments are useless to those who ignore their message.
He didn't create a truce through diplomacy alone. His godhood, his very presence, healed this land and allowed peace to take root. But once he left, he had to have known what would happen.
Well, he had good reason to leave. Some jackass convinced his sister to marry a madman.
These crystals contain their own light.
You're right. Normally we'd have to provide our own. Perhaps slotting a crystal on the opposite side could shed some light on this mystery.
You said monuments are useless. Why restore this one?
It was hidden for some time. Perhaps now it can serve as a reminder.
Aye. Nothing reminds people of their history like chiseled, well-lit marble. Looks like we can read the inscription now as well.
The light from the crystals. It is in the sand now.
Would you look at that? Freyr's gift endures after all. Or should I say, his presence?
You are not funny.
Even when Freyr was actually here, the peace was fragile. Surely a bit of extra light in the desert isn't enough to make it last.
Before I met Faye, I could not imagine a life of peace. After her death, in our travels to Jotunheim, I found peace on my own. It remains my responsibility to make it last.
I only hope this... guidance will last this time.
We will see. But he has given them a chance. For your garden.
A Dawnbloom.
Another sleeping troll, courtesy of the dwarves. Perhaps we can bring these two animals back to Vanaheim, or Midgard even. Specky and Svanna could use the company. We have kennels.
It would not go well for them. Once a predator becomes accustomed to a land, it is cruel to move them.
I suppose you're right. Just seems lonely out here.
Therefore, fight. The hilt is drawn to the gravestone.
Hjalti the Stolid.
Once we have defeated these berserkers, what then?
We pay the king a visit and give him more of the same.
We have seen this before. Revenge will not bring you peace.
Is it revenge if justice is served?
That is a question you must answer for yourself.
Freyr, back to the story of your brother. You said the elves saw him emerge from the Lake of Souls.
It's true. I don't know whether he worked his charms at that point, or they just assumed him to be a great deity. But of course, he hadn't made this journey in search of responsibility, so he didn't stick around long.
Not now.
That's some of Kvasir's poetry. Freyr, will you continue that story about your brother? He stumbled into Alfheim, became a legend, and left?
Essentially so.
Enough. We will continue later.
Something is coming, and it's not happy. What on earth was a drake doing back there?
Your guess is as good as mine. Imprisoning a drake. Can't decide whether to be impressed or horrified.
Either way, it is over now.